What's goody team? What's goody team? Give me 1 second to catch up with all the messages real quick. Um, okay. Yeah, Mr. Muhammad, what's good, my brother? I'm chilling, man. Chilling like a villain. Got a. I wasn't gonna talk about a trade that I took yesterday, but we'll talk about it. I thought about it. That's why I turned the stream on a little bit later. I wanted to do it at 6, but I contemplated for 15 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about the trade. I don't know if I want to. I'll say this first. The reason why I even thought about wanting to talk about the trade is simply just because I'm like, yo, maybe they're not ready to see the trade, right? They're not ready to see the entry reasons, and it's just gonna be too much, right? So for the last 15 minutes, I was just looking over the trade, and I was explaining it to myself in my head, play by play, right? Exactly what I was looking for and everything before the entry, even after the entry. And I'm like, no, you know what? This is a really picture perfect trade. And again, it's nothing that we haven't talked about, right? Because usually when I would take a trade that I wouldn't normally take, right, that follow my rules that I have, but it's following another entry model that I just haven't gone over on the streams. It's a little bit more technical, especially when I'm only taking trades based off of market structure and I'm not waiting for all my rules to play out, right? The engulfing candle, the change of character, the break of structure. Those are the trades that I usually wouldn't talk on stream to not confuse you guys, right? Because all I want you guys to focus on is the easiest thing to look at, which is the engulfing candles, right? The change of character, break of structure followed by the engulfing candle, right? So, but I went over the trade, and that's gonna be the first trade. That's gonna be the first pair we're going to go over. So I'm gonna give you guys that for the first pair we'll go over it. It was a Bitcoin trade. I took it yesterday. Pretty simple trade. Like it's nothing out of this world. Obviously the timing that I took the trade, not the usual time that we look for trades, but I was on my charts. I was looking for this move to happen anyway. So I was on my charts, I'm not gonna lie. However, aside from the timing, the time that we took the trade, the times that I'm usually on the charts, everything else is picture perfect. Exactly what we're looking for on every single pair, every single day. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It's a pretty good trade. It's a pretty good trade. Let me just post the stream link on Instagram and Twitter and that other bullshit. Give me 1 second. I know somebody typed in the chat, but just making the post real quick. My bad. Big Miss Man been so sick, couldn't do shit. Missed the last 3 weeks of school as well. Fuck, man. Hope you're feeling better. Can't be sick, bro. Last person, yo, Kendall, you in here? You can hear me? Yo, the last person that said was sick and then fucking never showed up ever again. Yo, we don't know if he died or not. Was Mike? Yo, that fool Mike messaged me and Kendall at like mad early in the morning. Last message he ever sent me was, "Yo, I'm sick. My family is sick. I'll hit you up once we're good." Yo, I haven't heard from that motherfucker in the last 2 years. R.I.P. Mike. Yo, I think Mike died for real. I'm not lying. I swear to God, yo, me and Kendall, we've sent him emails. We've messaged him on Discord like 500 times. I think the guy passed away, man. Like shit is fuck. It's not even funny. I don't even know why I'm laughing, but we really think I think he's a goner, man. I don't know if this is the right link. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yo, I'm taking so long to do this. I'm sorry, guys. PSG. Shit. Dude, I'm hungry. Damn, I should have got something to eat. All good. We'll do this session quick, guys. I don't think we're gonna be here for this long. Sorry, I'm posting the stream link now on Twitter. Oh, we just got news. Department of State advises Americans worldwide to exercise increased caution. Ah. And then J. Cole and Cameron drop on the 24th. President Trump, there will be a total decimation of Iran. Fuck. That was 20 minutes ago. March 24th, Cameron and J. Cole. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be fun. Yo, watch Cameron fucking sue J. Cole again. Um, my bad. I'm just scrolling through Twitter, seeing what I missed for the day. Give me 2 minutes. Cuba says it's preparing for possible U.S. military aggression. That was 4 hours ago. And then everything else is just bullshit. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Weekly market breakdown is live. Watch here. Damn. Undo typing. Then I'm gonna cut. Post. Shit. Oh god, dude. Fuck. I fucked up. I fucked up. I fucked up. Give me 1 second. I suck at doing this when I'm under pressure. Edit post. I love that I could do that, man. Shout out. Oh, it's not gonna let me edit the post. I'm gonna be pissed. I don't want to promote, bro. I want to edit the post. It's not gonna let me. It's all good. Then I'm gonna add a picture. This is the picture. And then I'm gonna go to. Gotta post on Instagram too. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Make sure I typed everything out correctly. I gotta post on LinkedIn too. Oh, my bad. Jumper race. Yo, alright, let's chill out, bro. He said, nah, man, that's. Wait, hold on. Well, how much did I miss? Hold on. RIP Mike, man, but I'm fine now getting back on the routine and building that momentum back. Good, good, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Nah, man, that's messed up. If I die, you guys would know. Okay, bet, cool. Yo, I appreciate that because for real, like, Mike just left. Like, yo, that was the last thing Mike had ever messaged me. So that shit is. We don't know if he, for real, we don't know if he died. We don't know if he just didn't fuck with us anymore. It was like literally right after the day he told me, he was like, yo, I want to start. I want to be your clipper. I wanna help you build your so we can start posting more on YouTube and shit. Yo, after that he died. He never messages us again. I swear to God. That's the craziest thing. Emailed him, messaged him on Discord. We found his fucking Telegram. We messaged him on Telegram. Nothing, dude. The guy is done. I was like, what, 2 years ago, Kendall? Like maybe a year ago? What's good, Mr. Agent? Welcome to the stream, my brother. Tomato Playboy, jumper races, man. I got some Chinese donuts. He said I'm gonna catch COVID. He said, nah, that's crazy. But you would recover from COVID, yo. Supposedly I did, yo. Supposedly I had COVID, and I was asymptomatic, but I was still locked in a room for fucking 14 days. I was so sad. Yeah, right. That was the best time of my life. Locked in a room, yo. Nobody was bothering me. Everybody was scared. I got food left for me on my front door in the morning, in the evenings, in the afternoons. Just playing Call of Duty all day, trading. That was 2021 was a fucking great year to catch COVID, man. Rest in peace to the people who died, man. My condolences. But that was a great time for me. Being shut down, man. Last March, yeah, so it's been a year now with Mike. It's crazy, man. Don't know what happened to Mike. How do I add a? There you go. I started this party, yeah, my bad. I just posted the link everywhere. That's on me. Sorry. Sorry. Now I gotta get comfortable. Yo, how long we been streaming already for? 16 minutes. Oh, we're good, bro. Time is going by slow today. All right. Yo, lock in, my bad, bro. So, all right. So we're gonna start off with Bitcoin again, like I said, since that's the trade that we took for the weekend. And again, I like it. It's clean, exactly what we look for. So the number one thing, right, that we've I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna confuse anybody. So fuck that. We're gonna go with just the basic. Right? I was just about to add something that I didn't want to add. Where are we overall? Level one, first zone of consolidation. Level two on an uptrend, second zone of consolidation. Level three, all the way to the top side. On the top, what do we have in peak high territory? There's two things that I'm looking at, right? The number one thing that we saw that we had, daily time frame once again, peak high territory. What do we have? A small internal, shoulder, head, shoulder. We also had the double top, right? As price started printing more, coming into January, into the beginning of the year, what do we see? Another shoulder, head, shoulder. I told you guys, I'm not trading Bitcoin. You guys could go back to the chart from January until last week. I told you guys, yo, I'm not even gonna mark up Bitcoin until I don't see us confirm the trend. I am not going to focus on Bitcoin until I see a change of character, until I see the break of structure. I told you guys this. So I just started marking on my Bitcoin chart again. That was last weekend, in last week's isolation session. I told you guys I'm not going to mess with this until I see this confirmation. Right? Yes, you were right. Exactly. Not that I'm right. Yo, is how many times do we need to see this print? I've always said this to you guys. It comes to a point where, again, how many fucking pairs have I traded from top to bottom? We're talking about years of data. I'm not talking about, oh, I just update right now. You guys seen how I update my charts, especially if it's a new chart. We haven't added a new chart in a long time. But for those who do the one-on-one sessions, for those who've done the homework, right, and for those who've been watching for a long time, I tell you guys, and you guys see me, I go back 10 years in data, right? It's just 2026, right? 10 years only 2016. I go further than that. Whereas I'm thinking about when I first started updating my charts. That was in 2018. We're talking about 2008. So I have data from 2008. And I could pull up my MT4 so you guys can see it, my FX Glory. We have this data from 2008 until 2026. It's almost 20 years of data. It's 18 years of data. We've seen this happen on every single pair, every single time. Now Muhammad said, "Now don't hold back." So I will say this: are there certain pairs that don't follow the market maker's pattern completely? Yes. Which pairs are there? US30, gold, right? The indexes, commodities, and crypto. Crypto is something brand new. We don't have enough data to backtest the market maker's pattern. However, as it continues to develop, right? And we have data from 2021, right? Because before this, we didn't really have a lot of data. Price wasn't really moving. Price was just consolidating. It wasn't really doing nothing. This is the beginning of time. This is a pair that's only 10 years old in data. With that being said, as time continued, and we saw, okay, we have the first push, right? This is the beginning of time. We have the first push, the second push gave us the inducement double top. What do we start doing? Okay, level 1, first zone consolidation, level 2, second zone consolidation, level 3. Perfect. We have 3 pushes to the low, 3 levels. What do we see? Inducement of the low gave us a double bottom. Then what did it do? Level 1, level 2, right? So where we're at now. Level 1, level 2, boom, level 3. What do we see at the top? The same thing. We have a new peak high. We created a new peak high. We have peak lows. Now, is this a pair? This is another question you have to ask yourself, and this is why I'm saying, right? The market maker's pattern on indexes, cryptos, commodities is not going to be 100% the way it is on the Forex pairs, where you can see price going to peak highs and peak lows. Am I expecting Bitcoin to drop to 15,000? Absolutely not. Why? Because we could go to another pair. We have enough data on the other pairs that trade the exact same way, like US30, like gold, like oil, like silver, right? That tells us whenever there's a lot of volume in the market, and the example I'll give you guys is during COVID, right? Not a picture perfect example. Let me take this back real quick. Not a picture perfect example because yes, we did go to the previous peak lows, but we see how much volume we have on the chart. And again, we on TradingView we can't go further than 2017, right? But US30, again, like gold, these are pairs that they'll give you the 3 pushes to the top side or to the bottom, and is not always going to reach previous lows or previous highs, right? And we could see that US30 once after COVID, prices just flying. We had the first push, first zone of consolidation, the second push, right? The second zone of consolidation, which was just a trap falls real, a TFR zone of consolidation into level 3. And right now we're in peak high territory. But we're at the highest point that the market has given us. Same thing with Bitcoin. So what am I looking for on US30 before I can feel confident in taking these shorts? I want to see the first level to the downside. I want to see the first zone of consolidation. And then I want to see the break of the second zone of consolidation to start level 2. And now start trading in level 2. Why? Because if we were here trading in 2024, and you can see I have this marked up, we thought, oh, double top, oh, the first push, this is going to be where we're going to have the first zone consolidation somewhere in this area here on the 800 EMA. And what did price do? Faked us out, and it was just following the trend. It gave us a daily change of character, inducement of the low, to continue to make new higher highs. Could that be the same thing that's happening here? Inducement of the low to continue back up? Absolutely. So this is why I'm waiting for those extra confirmations. I'm okay with not trading the first push, right? I'm okay with not trading level 1. Once price gives me that second zone of consolidation, that first zone of consolidation, excuse me, and it gives us the break of the first zone of consolidation and then gives us the pullback to start level 2 on a downtrend, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades going short. And again, we have those confirmations. We have the gaps at the bottom of the market. We know price is going to have to come down eventually. So once I get those confirmations that the trend has shifted, that's when I'm going to be trading this again going short. Right? Until then, I'm still going to be looking at the pair, right? Especially US30. This is a pretty simple trade every single time, especially if it's crystal clear. Right? And we know how US30 moves. So we could trade this comfortably, but we have to be patient. We have to wait for those confirmations to play out. So with that being said, let me know if you guys have any questions before we start, before I give the full breakdown. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. No questions, let me know. Just put no or yes in the chat. So with Bitcoin being where it's at, we have the first push. No questions, all good, perfect. Right? We have level 1. We have the first zone of consolidation. Where's the first zone of consolidation on an overall downtrend? It's going to be either above the 800 EMA or right on it. Right? We have a variation. We're right on it because we tapped into it, but we're above it. Right? But we could say this is the first zone of consolidation. Then what did price do? It gave us the break of structure. right? So perfect. It gave us the break of the zone consolidation into level 2. Level 2, what do we know? Price bounces off the 200 EMA in level 2. Okay, cool. Right now on the daily time frame, we're bouncing off the 50. You know, this is already something where now I'm thinking like, okay, what else could happen? No problem. We're still on the daily time frame. This is all on the daily time frame what I'm looking for. Price gave us the change of character, lower low. Okay, cool. So I already know. In order for us to say this is where price is just going to continue to go short, right? But once price reaches this low, before price could give us a steeper push down to the bottom to continue the trend, we need to see price give us a break of structure of these lows. If price gives us the inducement, then we know price is just going to go back up and do what? Give us a pullback. And that's when I'll start looking to take trades off the 200 EMA, wherever it's at. And that's going to be our point of interest to then start looking to take those trades back down to continue the trend, right? Lower low, lower high, you know, whatever lower low was created here, lower high, lower low, or I'm sorry, I just messed that up for you guys. Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Let's say price gives us the inducement, right? Then we'll be looking for the lower high somewhere here to then continue back down. So if this is what the inducement gives us, that's what we'll be looking for back to the top side. Gives us the inducement, lower low, lower high, to then continue into a lower low. Agent said he's all good, no questions. Okay, cool. So now, on the daily time frame, why else am I looking to take these trades going short? We have 2 months to drop. After 2 months to drop, the market must give you that third month low. Same thing as a 372. After 2 days of rise or 2 days of drop, you're looking for the third day. After 2 weeks of rise, after 2 weeks of drop, you're looking for that third week. After 2 months of drop or 2 months of rise, you're looking for that third month. Right? You had 1 month. Let's go back and let's back test for the last couple months. Right? Just the previous months. We had 1 month of drop, 2 months of drop. On the third month, what are we looking for? We're looking for price to give us another third month low. Did price give it to us? Yes. It gave it to us with a wick, and then it came back up. It gave us a month of drop, no net. The next month, it gave us a month of drop. The second month, it gave us a second month of drop. So on the third month, what am I looking for? Right? I'm looking for price to give me that third month low. Right? So cool. We could see that we're trending. We could see that we have this is still on the daily, right? We don't have a break yet on the daily. All we have is a change of character. We know we have a change of character, no problem. So we don't have any real confirmation on the daily time frame, right? With the change in the break. But we could see that price is finally starting that push to the bottom. All we have on the daily, 2 months of drop. Cool. On the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? We're looking at structure. We had higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us the change of character, lower low. Lower low, lower high. Then what did price give us? It gave us the break of structure all the way down into the lower low. So now we know we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Based on how price gave us the break of structure, what type of pullback, and this is a question for you guys in the chat, based on the break of structure that price gave us, what pattern could we be expecting here? What type of pullback could we be expecting on the 4-hour time frame? I'll give you guys 15 seconds in the chat. Whoever answers first, that's $20. 20 beans. Come on, nobody in the chat? Muhammad said flag post pattern, okay. Adrian, Kendall, you guys got anything? Based on structure, right? Based on how price gave us the break, you're expecting a flag post pattern. We'll give Kendall and Adrian Another 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 2, 1. All right, cool. So you're right, Mohammed. Right, a flag post pattern. So what are you expecting in a flag post pattern? In a flag post pattern, wrong tool. You're expecting price to give you a pullback between 23.6 and the 38.2 fib retracement. Did we get that? Yes. We got the 38.2 retracement. Perfect. Once we got price to give us the 38.2 retracement, candlestick analysis. This is another question, right? We were just talking about the breaks, market structure. We were just talking about patterns. Now we're going to talk about candlestick analysis. Based on candlestick analysis, what candle could you see being printed on the retest of the 38.2 on the 4-hour time frame? I'll give you guys another 20 seconds to answer that question in the chat. I didn't hear the question. Yo, lock in. 50% maybe? Adrian, the pullback is between 23.6 and 38.2. Right? And the reason that is because the type of break of structure that we had, once again, you know, a flag post pattern, what does it look like? When you're looking for it in the candles, when you're looking for it on structure, it's whenever price gives you a clean break to the top side and it doesn't really have any pullbacks, right? It was just a clean break to the bottom. And this is what we're expecting, right? Which is the same thing here, right? You're expecting a pullback between 23.6 and 38.2 to continue, or vice versa on a, I just marked that up on a uptrend, right? Or vice versa on the downtrends. If price gives you a clean break to then continue, right? So based on that alone, just based on how the break of structure happened, we could already put it, we could already get ahead of ourselves and be like, okay, yeah, we could most likely be looking for that 23.6, 38.2% pullback, right? So once we got into the 38.2, the question was candlestick analysis now. What type of candle was printed on the 38.2 retracement? Kendall says the exhaustion candle. Muhammad said exhaustion candle. Boom. So perfect. You have your confirmations on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, you have the break of structure confirmation within market structure. Based on patterns in the market that we know, you also have the flag post pattern, which coincides with the fib retracement, which is 23.6 and 38.2. Right? How many more confirmations do you need? Let's keep adding them up. Right? So now just updating my 4-hour time frame. We don't have any continuations right now. We have a week of drop. Let me add another line here for us. Saturday at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. now. Time went ahead. All right, so we have a week of drop. Perfect. No problem. Going down into the lower time frames, right? The 1 hour, I'm not really looking to take trades, but on the 1 hour, I was looking for the candlesticks, looking for the same thing as I do on every other pair, looking for engulfing candles on the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30, the 15, the 5, right? What did we see on the 1 hour time frame? Right? After price on the 4 hour gave us the change in the break, or it didn't give us the break just yet, but once it gave us the change and we started seeing how price was moving, right? What do we have on the 1 hour time frame? The engulfing candle. Beautiful bearish engulfing candle. Green, green, red. Red, all wicks or all candles have top and bottom wicks. The red candle closed below the body of the first candle's wick. Below the body of the first candle. Sorry, not the wick. Closed below the body. And it gave us a beautiful retest. What do we also see on the 1 hour? Looking at the EMAs, we know we want to see price bounce off the 200 EMA, right? On or around the 200 EMA. What are we doing? Bouncing around it. Looking at the 800, price gave us the break below the 800. Price is respecting the 800 EMA, right? Boom, boom, respecting it. Bouncing on or around the 200 EMA. Perfect. Going down into the lower time frame. What do we have? 30-minute time frame. Higher high, higher low, higher high, boom. Lower low, lower high. Change of character. Lower low, break of structure. Lower high point. Price continued in this area. Gave us a lower high. Gave us another lower high, bouncing off the 200 EMA. Right now, what do we see? All the EMAs are together. Bouncing off the 200. What else do we want to see? We have the change. We have the break. We're looking for the retest. Now, after we were getting the retest and we started seeing that price is just respecting the lower high points, then we got that 1 hour engulfing candle. Perfect. This is a beautiful trade. And that's where I got in. Do we have any lower time frame confirmations? Absolutely. Right? And this is another thing that I want to talk about because Inferno asked me the question a few weeks ago and I've answered it, right? I answered it in the last session we did, I believe, with AUDUSD, and we went over some other pairs. Is there times where I will get into a trade before a valid break of structure is given, even on the lower time frames? And the answer is yes. This pair alone, the fact that we have so many confirmations before we even got to the lower time frames, we have confirmations on the daily, we have confirmations on the 4 hour, we have confirmations on the 1 hour, right? We have confirmations on the 30-minute time frame. On the 5-minute time frame, or on the 1 minute when I'm looking for my entry, I don't need to see everything at once. I could get it a little ahead of myself, right? So if I get an engulfing candle before, if I get the retest of the engulfing candle before the valid break, I know that I'm just going to get that retest off the engulfing candle. So then that's when I'll start going, and we'll look for the same thing on the 5-minute, looking for the exact same thing. On the 5-minute time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. What did price give us? Lower low, change of character, lower high. Same thing. Looking at the EMAs, looking at where we're bouncing, 50s below the 200, price is bouncing on or around the 200 EMA. Perfect. In the exact same area where we would have our retest for our engulfing candle. So I already know, regardless of the engulfing candle, would I have taken this trade? Yes. And my stop loss would have been the exact, it would have been a little bit higher, right? Because I would have put my stop loss above the structure. But since we have the engulfing candle here, instead of using a 15 pip stop loss, it turns into a 12 pip stop loss. All right, so it's not that big of a difference, but it's a little bit of a big difference. So perfect, right? And then not only that, right? We also have the inducement of the high. This wasn't a valid break, right? And then again, looking at the EMAs, what are we doing? We're respecting the 800 EMA, right? Lower high on the 800 EMA. So we just have so much confirmation here. We had so many confirmations. Beautiful trade. So the trade was very simple. I kept it simple on the 1 hour time frame. You know, I have all those confirmations on the lower time frame, no problem. Entry on the 1 hour. Now my TP. This is one thing where you guys would be like, oh, but STP is hit already. Why are you still in the trade? Are you holding? This is a trade that I will be swing trading. Why? Because again, we have a 3rd month low that we're expecting price to hit. Now I understand as well the areas that I'm trading in, right? And this is going to be the biggest difference between a trader who's greedy and a trader who just says, fuck it, I'm all in. And if it hits TP, it hits TP. If it goes to stop loss, it goes to stop loss. I'll blow my account, right? This is the biggest difference. Even though I'm expecting price to give us that 3rd month low, is it something that just plain and simple doesn't have to happen? Absolutely. Why? Especially what's going on now with the war and everything that's happening politically. We need to be a little bit more cautious with the decisions that we want to make. We're at the end of the week, or I'm sorry, we're at the end of the month. This is the last week of the month. Am I expecting price to give us a 500 pip move? Am I expecting it? Depends on how much volume we're going to get. Based on ADR for the week, we could get that move. But what am I looking for? The reason I don't like to swing trade, right? And the reason why I would have, plain and simple, when I'm trading, the reason I always catch the piece of the pie, number one, yo, the trade already hit a 1 to 23. I'm still up, still a 1 to 16. That's the trade we took on AUD USD last week, right? Kendall got the 1 to 16, I got a 1 to 9. Like, you think I'm gonna be greedy about catching the 3rd month low? I'm gonna be greedy. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna hold the trade. But now, where am I gonna put my stop loss? I'm gonna continue to look at structure. 30-minute time frame, we're still downtrending. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Where's the lower low? This was the inducement, right? Boom, we had the valid break here, and price continued the trend. So I know already that we're trading between this lower high point and whatever lower lows are set. All of this is part of the same trend. This is not lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All of this is part of the same trend. So we know that we're trading between this lower low and this lower high. Cool. No problem. Internally, we know that we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So where am I going to put my trading stop loss? Right? My trading stop loss is going to be, shit. Dude, did I lock it by accident? My trading stop are going to be above these highs. And I'm okay with a 1 to 10. Tell me somebody who's not okay with a 1 to 10. I'm chilling with that. Right? However, if price gives us another, right, lower low, lower low, and gives us the retest, right, and then continues to make lower lows and lower highs for the week, then I know I could just continue to hold this trade. And if it goes up and hits my trailing stop, it is what it is. We'll look for another entry. Depending on what structure does, we still have all week to catch a trade. So it's all right. A 1 to 10 to start the week, not bad. What else do we have? We had 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. What did the market do? It went up. Perfect. Then what did the market do? Gave us a day of drop. Perfect. What is the market currently doing right now? It's giving us a no net. We're still on that wick. We still have 4 minutes. Or no, an hour. Market opens at 8 again. I forgot. Right? Am I tweaking about that? No. Yeah, 8 p.m. So we have an hour for Bitcoin to move. If Bitcoin gives me that second day of drop, what do we think is going to happen? It's going to give us a third day. It's going to continue. So I'm being patient. But I have to babysit this trade. Because I have to look at what structure is doing, what's the lower time frames doing. Right? Once again, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're still downtrending. But if price decides to turn around and start giving us higher highs, higher lows, we got to get out of the trade. We have to get out of the trade. I'm not going to hold it. Why am I going to be like every other trader online that you see? Oh, I'm in the trade. Fuck it. If it hits TP, hits TP. I'm leaving my stop loss where it's at. Why? That's stupid. That's stupid. It's a big ass move. Right? This is why you always see me trade with STP. This is why you always see me trade with ADR. Because it doesn't make sense to hold a trade when you already know. Again, let's do the calculation. Because I don't even have it marked up on this chart. 268 minus 33%. STP is 179. Just so you guys can have a visual. Like, this isn't, like, it's really not that crazy. Right? Just so we can have a visual. 179. See if I can get it right on the dot. Close enough. 179 is STP. Price did STP for the day. And then what did it do? Started reversing. So again, if I would have been trading just regular degular and not be like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna hold this trade, see what it does, I would have cashed out on a 1 to 20. You're gonna tell me you're not comfortable with a 1 to 20? Right? But instead, I'm holding the trade. Fuck it. We got a 3rd month low. 3rd month low, we're already in profit. I'll trail my stop loss. It is what it is. Right? And then if it continues to give me opportunities throughout the week to continue to look for a trade, then we'll continue to catch those trades. But if price decides to give us the inducement of this low and then just go back up and give us a steeper pullback, then all good. We're ready for that too. We caught a nice trade to start the week. Again, like I said, a 1 to 10 where the trading stop loss is at, and we'll continue to add. We got a 1 to 9 last week. The week before that was a 1 to 6, 1 to 7. And then the US30 trades were 1 to 12s, 1 to 14s to start the year off. So it's all good. We'll continue to be patient. So that was pretty much the trade. Any questions? Dude, my nose. Beautiful and picture perfect. Exactly. 5 minute inducement of those highs. Yeah, I caught myself getting caught up in the gaps too with gold. Can you go over that trade too from Friday? I got you. I was trying to look for those gaps, but I think that's the shit with futures. Is I don't think the gaps were here on this chart, or unless I missed it and I'm slow. But double check that, and that's what I'm saying with futures too. Like when I get that futures account, I'm not gonna be looking at the futures chart. There's no way. Like yeah, there's some trades that I saw like they're pretty much the same, right? The only difference is that with futures, I know that it's gonna be there's more gaps on the future chart, so there's just me personally, I wouldn't trade on the futures chart. I would just trade simply on the forex chart. If it's the same, then I'll just use that. He's outside right now, yo. Instead of him being in this, watching me do the session, look what he's doing. How will you manage it through the rest of the month? Just continue to look for structure, right? Pretty much like I said. Right now on the 30 minute, we're still trading lower lows and lower highs, right? And we know that on the lower time frame, we're still trading. I'll be looking at this on the lower time frame, right? Because the lower time frame is going to give you the confirmations. If on the lower time frame, let's say, let's just for conversation's sake, um, right? Let's say price gives us, change of character, inducement, Monday going into Tuesday tomorrow, we know that if price starts giving us change of character, break of structure back to lows, we could catch this. But if it gives us the break of structure, we know price is just going to continue. And then we're going to do what? Then we're going to start looking at the 30-minute highs. Fuck. That was ugly, huh? Right? If price comes up to the highs and gives us the inducement and then starts making lower lows and lower highs, Tuesday night going into, or Wednesday night going into Thursday, right? If it starts giving us a change of character, break of structure, we know we could take these trades back down. But at that point, I'm not going to take a trade Wednesday going into Thursday. Why? Because, or I'm not going to, well, actually, hold on. This isn't the end of the week. We still got Monday, Tuesday next week for the end of the month. That's on me, right? I'll be looking for the same thing. We know that Thursday, Friday, I'm going to want to see the continuation. Saturday, Sunday as well, right? We're going to want to see the continuations going into the new week. And then in the new week, Sunday, Monday, or possibly even Monday going into Tuesday, that's when we want to see price already reach these lows again. But we'll just be looking for the same thing. If price gives us an inducement of the highs, we know it's going to go down. If it gives us a break of structure, change of character to the top side, right, with a valid break, and we're back again above the 800 EMA, we already know price is going to continue. And it was just an inducement of the low, and that's okay. Why? Because once again, on the daily time frame, we don't have a valid break. It's just a change, right? We're in a lower time frame as well when we're looking at it, just in a zone of consolidation where price is moving sideways. Low, high, rejecting the lows. What did it do? Came back high. Right? Technically speaking, in this little zone, in this little area, we have a valid break. Price gave us higher high, higher low. What did it give us? Another higher high point, but this was an inducement. And where's price going back down to? The previous higher low points that were made. So again, it's just it's just being able to put all the pieces together. Right? Seeing like, okay, why these lows? And the same thing, like, why would price reject these lows? This is why this is still there. This is still here marked up. Right? What do we know about these lows? It's an engulfing candle. Right now, price tapped into an engulfing candle going long. So could this be the area where price is going to continue this push to the top side? It could be. Right? Absolutely, it could be. Right? Or could this be the inducement to make people believe this is where price is going to go up to continue the downtrend push? The same way it did on the 30-minute time frame. Right? 30-minute time frame today, as soon as it gave us the inducement, right, it didn't tap into it. It missed it by a pip. But at these lows, what did price give us? It gave us the inducement after the break of structure was given on the 30-minute time frame. The lower low that it created, the lower low printed a bullish engulfing candle. Made everybody believe that this is where price was going to turn around and go back up to do what? To go straight down and hit your stop loss. So it's the same thing that's happening here, just in a higher time frame. We're inducing everybody here, making you believe this is where we want to go up, right? But if it gives you the inducement here, we know price is going to continue back down and your stop losses are going to be hit. You get what I'm saying? So it's literally just putting, this is why I say again, when you're in a trade like this, that it's a big trade and you're swing trading, you also need to understand lower time frame confirmations. Because those lower time frame confirmations, understanding market structure on the lower time frame, the same way you understand it on the higher time frame, on the daily, the 4 hour, understanding the external market structure and also understanding the internal market structure, you're gonna be able to babysit these trades a lot better and capitalize on your gains. Right? And if the time that you decide, like I am today, the day that you decide to take a trade and hold it for a swing trade, you're gonna be able to capitalize on it the most. But I will always say, yo, being a day trader is the best thing because you already have the area. You already know, yo, this shit does. How many pips was it that I deleted the STP, right? 172 pips. You have 172 pips for the day. Yo, STP's hit. Get out of the trade. A 1 to 10, you're comfortable. You're comfortable. Come back. Wait for another confirmation. You got your confirmation to take that trade. Get out with the confirmation for the day, which is STP. You cashed out for Tuesday. You come back Wednesday. You look for the same thing. Nah, oh, I'm gonna take a trade Monday and then fuck it. I'm gonna hold it for Friday. Why? You don't know. You don't know what could happen. You have the confirmations for today. All we know is about today. I sent you the screenshot on what I was talking about on Discord. I got you. I'll check it now. First trade I see you hold. I don't do it often. I literally in a year I'll probably hold one trade a year. One trade a year I'll hold. And again, the pairs that I'll be doing it in are usually bigger pairs. Right? Because on a pair like AUDUSD that moves 40 pips, ADR is 40 pips. You know, what am I holding for? It's fucking I'm holding for 100 pips. Like that ain't shit. Now, a trade like Bitcoin, US30, right? Gold. If there's an opportunity to swing trade, best believe I'm swing trading that. Yo, you think I'm not gonna swing trade for a chance to get a 1 to 60 with all these confirmations that we have? Yo, let me catch that 1 to 60. You know what I mean? And then, I'm not risking 50% of my account, 60% of my account. I'm only risking $400. We're not gonna say the percent because I'm not gonna tell you guys how much money's in my account, but I'm only risking 400 bones. Just do the math. If you're risking $400 and it's a 60, a 1 to 60, do the math. Of course, I'm risking $400. With a 1 to 60, come on now. Let me catch that. And again, the numbers that I'm seeing right now on this trade, is that something that's not doable? It's doable. It's not a crazy trade. Why do I say it's not a crazy trade? Because we've done close to those last year with US30 and gold. We were close to those numbers catching 1 to 8s, 1 to 10s, 1 to 12s, right? Earlier this year, same thing with US30. Again, remember my first 4 trades of the year was US30, right? Let's just so we could go back, right? My first trades of the year was US30, a 1 to 10, a 1 to 11. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. There's another trade that I'm missing somewhere. My trades have been deleted. I knew it. It's hiding. Right? Another trade, 1 to 5, nothing crazy, something simple. I'm missing another trade though. So, right, same thing with silver. Right? That silver trade that we took a few weeks ago. 1 to 5, not bad. These are pairs that pay out a lot, especially US30. Starting off the year with US30 with those 1 to 10s, 1 to 11s was fucking amazing. Beautiful 25K. Beautiful. Right? So, the glitchy 1 minute engulfing candle trade. Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm missing right on US30. Let me go look at Discord real quick. So that's what it is. So yes, for this trade alone, I am holding, but again, because I'm holding, I'm also babysitting it, which is unfortunate. I have to just look at my charts all day. But I already have my areas marked up. And again, I already have my stop loss at TP, following the structure on the internal time frame. Again, another 1 to 10 trade, not bad. Right? Even a 1 to 10 trade with a $400 risk, again, you guys could do the math. Chilling. Yo, that's more than enough. Right? People work all month for that type of paycheck. I'm okay with that. I don't gotta be greedy, yo. I that's again, I think I said this in one of the last sessions with greed. Like my definition of how I look at greed on the charts is different than what a lot of people would see. Right? It's like, yo, I know that my win rate is very high. I know that the chance of me losing a trade that I actually take is very low. Does that mean that I'm gonna risk 100% of my account? No, bro. No. For what? We know how the market works. Yeah, you could have confirmations, especially now. Again, like we know what's going on globally, politically, in the government. We know how volatile the market is. I don't care how right I am in this game. I'm going to keep my rules and I'm going to keep it clean. Now, there will be moments where I'm going to be risking more than 15, 20%, 30%. Absolutely. But am I in a position where if I make one wrong move or if something happens, if right now the fucking president wants to start talking and it goes sideways and I fucking hit my account, right? And it hits stop loss. Why am I going to risk 50% of my account at a chance? There's no point, right? The money that I'm chasing, right? Just put it into perspective. I'll put it into perspective, right? We're chasing 26K, right? Um we're my bad. Let me I'm typing sending a message real quick. To put it in perspective, we're chasing 24,000, right? How many times do I need to take a 4,000 trade, a $4,000 trade, right? How many times do I need to take a $4,000 trade to make 26,000 to make 24,000? Simple math. 6 times. You're telling me that all I got to do is take 6 trades. So why am I and when I could do that shit on one trade, right? All I got to do is do it 6 more times. Cool. That's nothing. Minimum, right? Minimum 6 times. So like, yo, I'm not gonna be greedy, being like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking risk my whole account. I'm not gonna fuck it. I'm not gonna move my stuff. Yo, fuck that. I don't care. Right? 26K ain't shit when you're trading. It's a lot of fucking bread. But once you have the skill set, you don't have to chase that. I don't have to chase being able to do it once at a chance when I know that all I gotta do is just repeat the process. All I gotta do is repeat the process 4 more times. If you can't repeat your process 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row, 6 times in a row, then what are you doing? Right? How many times? What type of win streak are we on right now? How many wins in a row do I have? Not for the year, just in total from this year and last year. Right? For this year, we're 6-0 or 7-0, 6-0, 7-0, 7-0. I think I repeated the process 7 fucking times, back to back to back to back to back to back to back times. Right? Not counting last year's wins. How many times did we lose last year? Once, and it was a bullshit because I was bullshitting. It was a bullshit fucking loss. Right? Back to back to back to back to back times. I've repeated the same entries every single time, the same procedure, the same setup. So again, trading for me is very simple. I'm just repeating the process. Repeating the process. I don't gotta get lucky one time. I don't. I don't have to get lucky one time. I want to be able to trade consistently. I want to be consistent in my trades. Why? Because I want to do this as a full-time job. I don't want to do this as a hobby. When I'm 40 years old, I want to continue to trade. When I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I'm 70, when I'm 80, until I'm dead, until I'm in my casket, I want to be able to trade. I want to be able to know that anytime I hop onto the charts, it's to win. I don't want to open up rootbet.com. I don't want to open up stake.com. I don't want to open up hardrockcasinos.com. right? I don't want to open up Brovada. No, I want to open up TradingView. I want to be a trader. I don't want to gamble. And I'm a trader because I follow the same procedure, the same rules every single day that I know work. You guys know it works because you guys see me talking about it every single fucking day. Every trade I take is the same setup. It's not a, oh, this is different, but this is what's happening, and I'm gonna do this, but this isn't happening. No, it needs to follow the same rules every single day. Everything needs to make sense every single day. And you guys see it all the time with me. If there is a specific trade that doesn't make sense, I'm not even trading it. Again, I haven't looked at Bitcoin since the beginning of the year, and I told you guys I'm not going to mark this chart up until we get the break of the first zone of consolidation. Did we get that? Yes. Boom. Perfect. Let's turn the charts back on. Let's look for a fucking trade. That's how simple it is for me. Because I follow the same rules every single day. Every single day I'm on the charts, I follow the same rules. I'm looking for the same thing on every single pair. Every single pair, I trade them the exact same way. Same rules. The only difference, some of them are moving sideways, some of them are downtrending, some of them are uptrending. It's the only fucking difference. Every pair in the market is traded the same way. My Tesla markups are the same. My Nvidia markups are the same when I'm trading stock options. It's all the same shit. Apple is the same shit. It's all the same shit. So, hope that made sense, guys. Um, Once again, let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, we're already an hour into the stream, but that was a good breakdown. With these following pairs for the night, yo, I'm gonna speed it up. I'm not gonna be here for much longer. So use this time wisely. I know it's only you three in the stream, but even for the people watching the recording, if you make it this long, any questions, let me know. Feel free to message me on Discord. Um, but we're gonna again, I'll give everybody another minute in the chat. Whoever's here, any question? Oh shit, Kendall, you said you sent me the screenshot. That's my bad. Um, on gold, you have a 1 minute gap on gold. And that is the O on the chart. So what am I? Did I not see it? My bad. Let me see. Um, 1 minute chart. You had the retest here, and you had the gap up here. I see it. Okay, yeah, you had a little gap here. It's also no top work on that candle, so that's definitely a gap. Yo, the thing with gold, bro, the biggest problem with gold that I have is right 30 minute. All we have is the change of character. We had the lower high. Cool. On the 5 minute time frame, low, lower, high, lower, low. Right. We had the change of character, and then this low, and then price gave us the change back down to the bottom, and then we had the break that happened here, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, right, all the way to the bottom, lower, low. Right, so on the 5 minute, we're trading still between this high and this low, right, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low on the 5 minute time frame. We had the lower high point. On the 1 minute time frame, damn, that's the shit. That sucks right there. Damn, bro. I want to go back to FX glory. All right, now let's see, because we know 5 minutes the same shit, right? Lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. Then price gave us high, 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 lower, high, then lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, low, lower, high, low. Right? Do I want to mark this as lower, low, lower, high, lower, low? Yes. All right, boom. Then higher, high, higher, low. higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then price gave us a lower low change of character, then price gave us lower high, then gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, then higher high, higher low, higher high, then okay, wait, so we're back here. So we had the lower low change of character, lower high, then we had the break of structure, lower low. So this is where we could either mark this up as change of character, right? Then break of structure. And we know that this is the pullback, right? Or if we mark it up saying that this is lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Then we had high, higher low, higher high. Then we had lower low change of character, lower high, lower low, right? This is the retest right. Would I have paid attention to this gap up here? Let's take a look. So we have the change in the break on the 1 minute. On the 30-minute time frame, we had 2 days of drop. We have the third day low, right? We also had the engulfing candle. What do we also know? We're peak high territory, level 1, bounce off the 50 EMA. What is price doing on the 30? Bouncing on or off the 50 EMA, right? Where price even gave you the inducement. Same thing as Bitcoin, right? Of the internal time frame with these highs here on the 50 EMA. No continuations on the 4-hour. Again, on the 4-hour, we're pretty much just in this area, so we don't really have nothing to talk about on the 4-hour. And then again on the daily, nothing to talk about, right? All we know on the daily is nothing. We're still on a continuation. 4-hour, nothing, right? On the 4-hour, the only thing we had was just that break of the shoulder head shoulder, even on the internal time frames, right? Which is what I was telling you last week or in the beginning of this week, where I'm like, damn, I wish I would have been paying attention to gold, because this trade too would have been perfect. That trade that was on Wednesday of last week would have been picture perfect, right? And then we have the continuations of it. Price just still downtrending. So the fact that we already saw, okay, price gave us the retest, we're still on a downtrend. Even again on the 5-minute time frame, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. It gave us the retest, right? We know we're trading between this high and this low. What type of retest did we get? 50%, 61.8. Perfect. At the 61.8, what type of candlesticks do we have at the highs? Right? Twice. Exhaustion candle, came back, gave us the inducement of the high again, and another exhaustion candle. Same thing as Bitcoin, same trade. So would that gap have thrown me off? Not really. But it's good to keep it marked on the chart. Absolutely. Right? And then that way we already know, okay, those gaps in the market, we know it has to be filled. And again, we know that gold is still on an overall uptrend. On the daily, on the 4-hour, we know gold is still on an overall uptrend. On the 30, what do we know? Price is reaching our previous lows, and we also know that 30, or on the 30, it gave us a change of character. So we already know. Price is either going to give us the inducement to then turn back around, or this is where price is going to give us the break of structure, and then we could target this other 30-minute gap that we have here at the lows. Right, and then you also have marked up a 1-minute engulfing. Man, I'm pissed that I'm not looking at gold like that. Let's take a look. And tell me you also had a 1-minute engulfing, man. Where was this on the chart? It was here. Hey, you also have a 1-minute engulfing? Come on, brother. Yeah. Yeah, this 1-minute gap here wouldn't have really been anything to me. It wouldn't have meant nothing to me. Um, which server? I don't see that 4-hour engulfing. I consider that all one move. Okay, cool. My bad. That 4-hour engulfing, Mohammed. This is on Oanda. Or I'm sorry. What pair were you talking about? Were you talking about gold or? Gold doesn't have a 4 hour engulfing. Or no, yeah, it does. I'm sorry. It's Owanda on gold. This engulfing here at the highs. That fuck 114. Pepperstone doesn't have it. Yeah, Pepperstone sucks. Yeah, I traded on Pepperstone's broker once. I don't fucking recommend it at all. They were horrible, bro. I think that was the worst experience I ever had in trading. Was trading with Pepperstone. And I traded on Pepperstone when KOT first started having problems. So like it was last year when Mike was still around. I traded Pepperstone maybe for like 2 months, 3 months, and I'm like, wow, this is horrible. Yeah, make sure you have the same servers I have. So yeah, that gold trade would have been perfect. It's all good though. Right, again, it's missing a trade like this isn't bad. Right? Like the good thing is that you're keeping your rules together. Right? You're still following the rules, so it's all good. It's not a missed opportunity, right? Your rules, we already know how we feel about gaps. However, again, is there times where the gaps you don't really have to be too nervous with the gaps? Absolutely. Right? And again, it's all market structure, right? Again, the reason why that gap wouldn't have really done anything is because before that gap on the 1 minute, what do we have on the higher time frames? Right? You saw how I marked up Bitcoin. You saw how I go over about it. From the daily, okay, what do we see on the daily? What confirmations? Okay. 4 hour time frame, what confirmations do we have? Okay. 30-minute time frame, what confirmations do we have? Okay. On the 15, the 5, the 1, right? And then you start asking those questions on the lower time frame, and then you just have to take steps back. Like, okay, yes, we have this gap here, but with this gap, what else do we have? Well, with this gap, we know that okay, this is an exhaustion candle on this time frame, which is a pullback on this time frame, right? Which in this case was a valid break, a valid retest, 61.8 retracement, beautiful golden ratio zone entry, quote unquote. This is what they call it, right? The golden ratio. Once it reached the golden ratio and it gave us those highs, it gave us the inducement of the high, which is where that gap is at. Okay, cool. After the inducement, it did what? It gave us the exhaustion candles. Exhaustion candles, candlestick analysis. Tells me price is tired, it's gonna reverse. Internal time frame, did it reverse? Yes, it gave us the change. It gave us the break. Even if you consider this all one move, right? Change of character, break of structure. Even if you consider it like that, it gave you the change, it gave you the break after the exhaustion candle. That already tells you the trend has shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? If you marked it up in the 1 minute time frame, you still got the same thing, right? You maybe didn't get this trade up here, which would have been the 1 minute engulfing candle entry, which is the picture perfect entry, right? Once again, this is why engulfing candles are so powerful, right? This is why it's going to give it to you. Yo, you get an exhaustion candle, and after the exhaustion, you also have an engulfing candle. You already know, take that trade. The fuck are we waiting for? How many more confirmations do you want to see? Okay, cool. You didn't trust the engulfing candle and you wanted to get in just with structure? No problem. You have the change of character. You have the break of structure retest. Cool. Again, if you don't want to, again, the definition of greed, right? You wanted to wait for extra confirmations, you got it. You know you're in level 1. You know you're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. How would this trade look? Bounce off the 50, stop loss above the previous lower high point at 97 pips, right? 97 pip stop loss would have been this entry here. If you would have taken the engulfing candle entry, it would have been 1, 2, it would have been 84. So you would have saved yourself 13 pips in a stop loss. But it's all good. It ain't shit. Yo, 13 pips on gold? Come on. That ain't shit. It's a lot, but it's nothing. Right? It's you could have chosen whichever confirmation here. You could have chosen the engulfing candle, the retest, or you could have chosen just structure on the 1 minute time frame. It gave you beautiful confirmations. Prices respecting the 800 EMA, prices below the 800 EMA. You have the 50 EMA, you have price bouncing off the 50 EMA, the 50 below the 200. What other confirmations do you want to see here? You see what I'm saying? And then you also had the 372. What else do you want to see here? What else do you want to see here? It's very simple. Right? They gave us this trade on Friday. I'm kind of upset that I wasn't looking at gold. But same thing as last week. We missed last week's trade on gold, then we missed this week's trade on gold. But it's picture perfect. 372 was hit. Perfect. Yo, what more do I want? Yeah, we'll do it. Okay, cool. And what do we know about structure, right? After 3 days of drop, market must move sideways or go up. We have a gap in the market, reset the trend. So technically, could price continue this downtrend push? Absolutely, it could. But where are we as well? 30-minute low. We already know this is where price is either going to give us the inducement or the break. So you know what? I'm not taking no more trades down here. This is not a swing trade where you're like, oh, but it has a gap at the bottom. I'm going to hold my trade to the gap. No. We know gaps have to be filled. But what do we know about gaps? We don't know when gaps are going to be filled. We know they have to be filled, but we don't know when. It's not like a 372. We know the 372 is going to be, if there's a 2 days of drop on Wednesday and Thursday, we know that Friday is going to give us the third day drop. If price gives us 1 day of drop Monday and Tuesday gives us a second day of drop, we know we're going to get that third day drop on Wednesday. We're not going to get that third day drop on Friday. You see what the difference is? So this is why a trade like this, you wouldn't swing trade this. And that's why we're swing trading the Bitcoin trade. Because we could be expecting a 3rd month low. Now, could that 3rd month low not be met? Absolutely. Again, we know that we're trading and there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things right now. Price, any news could come out and price could do whatever it wants. So that's what we're holding on to right now. But even with us knowing that that could happen, we are still downtrending on every single time frame. Every time frame, lower low, lower high, lower low. What is price going to give us? We're still expecting another lower high. We're still downtrending. So now again, I will say the same thing with Bitcoin. For the traders who are looking for longs in this engulfing candle, what am I looking for before I take this trade on the engulfing candle, especially if it's a 4-hour or a daily time frame engulfing candle? What am I looking for before I take the trade? I'm looking for price to give me the change of character. I'm waiting for price to give me the break, and then I'll get into this trade, going back to the top side. Right? Why would I take a long position? Again, this is the question you have to ask yourself as a trader, right? Why are you taking a long position when market structure is still making lower lows and lower highs, right? That's the biggest reason why this engulfing candle that was printed this morning, I wasn't nervous about. And Kendall was like, yo, that engulfing candle, he was being a hater all morning, right? Trying to be funny. But why, realistically speaking, all jokes aside, why wasn't I nervous about this engulfing candle? Because price gave me a valid break of structure of the previous lower low and the lower high. No, it didn't. Shit. Abort, abort, abort. Right? That's not the previous low. We're looking for these lows down here. Right? On the 30. It gave us the valid break. Wrong example. My bad. We're on the 30, right? We're on the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute engulfing, right? We're looking for that 30-minute break. Right? That 30-minute break was given with the second red candle. So we already knew, okay, this is a lower low point. Gayer go up, is opposite. Gayer go down. Right? So we already knew where we were at. We knew what we were looking for. It's very simple. And again, the 5-minute was the same. I think that's it. I think we pretty much every confirmation that we had is there. So that's the reason why this engulfing candle, I don't care about it. It didn't make me nervous, right? We had the valid break. If price on the 30-minute time frame, if this would have given us the inducement instead of a valid break, completely different story, right? I would have got out of the trade. But we knew we were still on a downtrend. Right? We have a lot of room for price to go back up and hit me out of the trade. A lot of room. At this point, we were already up one. We already saw it, right? We were up a 1 to 16 or something like that by this time. So speed it up, yo. I'm sorry, bro. You guys want me to give you fucking gems every stream, and then when I give you the gems, you guys say, yo, hurry up. It's been 2 hours. I feel like E. I think he's still outside. I feel just like E. It's like the streams that is fucking 3 hours long is like, yo, speed it up. But that's the streams that we have the most gems, the most shit we gotta talk about. It's 2:30 a.m. Yo, switch time frames or switch time zones. I don't know what to tell you. Move in. I got space. Come on. We got 5 bedrooms in this bitch. So again, no questions. I'm gonna give you guys 1 more minute. That's it. Then we're really gonna speed it up because I also don't want to be here for another hour. And again, every pair is traded the exact same way. So unless there's something that I need to talk about, we're just gonna do this. These last, and we did well. We're still missing the whole list because all we did was gold and Bitcoin. But no questions. Let me know. Said why? Why, man? Why? And the next day, and the next day. Yeah, my brother's smoking crack, dude. He's saying Deegan is not gonna be a winning contender on the 450. He can be top 10, yeah, dude. No way you would have stayed up this late. Go ask E. Would I stay up this late now? If he were to do the sessions, absolutely. Was I staying up back then? Absolutely. And I was still in high school. Just think about that. I was going to sleep at 2, 3 in the morning. And I will say this too, when I got to college too, and I was working a full-time job and I was competing and I was doing my college classes as well as full-time student. I wouldn't stay up for the sessions, but I would wake up at 4 in the morning before work. I would go to bed at 11, 12 o'clock was max. I told them in the chat, yo, I'm out of here, I'm going to sleep. But I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I would watch the session. I would mark up my charts. My charts would be marked up. I would watch the session, take my notes, trade in the morning before work. If there's any entries, I'll take the trade. And then I'll go to work. And then I'll come home. I got out at 6 p.m. I had an hour to get home. And I got home. It literally took me every day because I worked from the UCF campus to my job was right next to Universal Studios. So you guys could do the math of how long that drive is. It's about an hour drive, no traffic, 45 minutes. I used to speed home, fucking in my Kia Forte doing 100, because I knew there was no cops there too. Those were brand new roads. Never cops. I was doing 100 every fucking day going home, speeding home. Talking about Kendall, no, Kendall's locked always, bro. Kendall stayed up late. You don't know about Kendall, yo. The reason I knew he was gonna make it, at first I didn't fuck with Kendall, but I didn't fuck with nobody at first, right? I always test you guys when I first meet you guys, right? The reason I knew Muhammad was gonna be good, the reason I know Adrian's gonna be good, the reason I know why Kendall's gonna be good, right? Is because you guys are the ones who stay up late when you need to. You're doing the same shit I was doing when I was learning, and you just when you're successful at something and you're looking for other people to be successful and you want to see who's really gonna make it and who's not in trading, they have to follow the same footsteps that you once did. Not everybody's the same, but trading it's a good track record. Like the people who don't take this serious and the people who don't do the what they're supposed to do, it's gonna be very difficult for them to make it. And Kendall from the jump, yo, he would message me at 2, 3 in the morning. He'd get home from work. He'd text me at 2, 3 in the morning. Yo, I watched the session. I took notes. He'd take screenshots of his notes, pictures of his notes, selfies holding onto it with a fucking happy face. Him smiling next to his notes. I knew Kendall was gonna make it. Muhammad, same thing. I knew you were gonna be good at this shit too. And you still do it. Adrian, same thing. The fucking works in the ER. He's a surgeon. And he still watches the sessions. Look, he just posted with a heart with a cross. Yo, he a fucking ER surgeon. And he stays up and he watches the sessions. Even I'm pretty sure he's done surgery before with his headphones on watching the session. I wouldn't put it past him. Right? I wouldn't put that past him. So there's a handful of you guys who will make it if you haven't already. And there's some of you who are going to make it and continue to find more success at this because you put in the fucking time. You put in the time, you ask the questions. Again, even if you're not in the session for the entirety of it, I know you're gonna finish what you have to do on your regular day-to-day life and you're gonna watch the recording. Right? You're gonna watch the recording and you're gonna ask questions. You're gonna hit me up. You're gonna be like, yo, I didn't understand this. Could you go over it? You're gonna do the homework when I tell you to do the homework. Right? That's another thing. Who were the ones who actually did homework when they were given the homework? And it wasn't a lot of you guys, but I know Kendall did it. Right? Recently, none of y'all did the last homework I gave you, but it's all good. But for the most part, so it's the same thing. I always watch the recording. I did all the homework. Again, I used to be on the phone with E all day, every day. Every time I had a question, I'm calling E. Yo, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what time it is. I'd call him at 6, and I used to feel bad. He knows this too. I used to feel bad calling him. I used to tell him like, "Yo, I don't want to call you because I know you sleeping or you're with your daughter. Or you're like, I already know. I don't want to bother you." He's like, "Yo, call me." So I started calling him. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you're doing. Now I will say this, yo, you try to call me at 2 in the morning and I'm sleeping, I'm not waking up. Don't even try. Like not because I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna see the phone ring. Nah, like if I wake up to the phone ringing, I'm gonna wake up. However, my phone's always on silent. You ain't fucking waking me up at 2 in the morning. I'm slumped. I'm fucking slumped. Best believe I'll wake up whenever I wake up and I'll check my phone. If I have a message, I'm responding. But you don't know how many times E has tried to call me in the past. Even still recently, he be trying to call me at fucking 1 in the morning talking about like you don't want to win. I'm sleeping. Fuck you and your win. I'm sleeping, bro. That guy's a crackhead for that. Yo, he told me that was the most recent thing he told me. He's like, you don't want to win, bro. That's why I don't call you no more. Like, all right, dude. Don't call me at 2 in the morning, bro. I'm sleeping. Sorry. Yo, speed it up. All right, so AU, we're at the top of the zone of consolidation. We have the break. We're looking for level 3. Again, we're at the top of the zone of consolidation. We're price moving sideways. Yo, let me clear up this chart a little bit. There's a lot of things that we have drawn here. So we're going to start cleaning this up a little. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm deleting the wrong thing. I got to be deleting the highlighters. Right? So what do we know about AU? We have 3 months of rise. After 3 months of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. What has price been doing this month? Moving sideways. Cool. Price is doing exactly what we need to do. 4-hour time frame. Let's add a line or two here. Sunday at 5 p.m. Sunday, why 5 p.m.? Because that's the time the market's open. Sunday at 5 p.m. Right? We had a week of no net, no continuation. This week, price gave us another week of no net. Price is just moving sideways. 4-hour structure, we have higher high, higher low, higher high. Price gave us the inducement of the high, didn't give us a valid break. So I'm not going to mark this as higher low yet, higher high. I'm going to wait to see what price wants to do at these lows. If price respects these lows and continue, then yeah, we'll mark it higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low until price goes to these highs, and we'll wait for the same thing. If price gives us a break of these lows, then we know that that's where price is going to continue into the next right, the valid low, which is the previous break of structure that we had. Right, so we still got to be patient. We know we still have this gap at the bottom of the market. Again, we know price has to fill that gap. We just don't know when, and we're going to continue to follow structure. 30-minute time frame. We have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right, price gave us the inducement of the high, gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high, gave us the break of structure, lower low, lower high. It gave us that third and final push to the bottom. As soon as it gave us that third push to the bottom, what did price do? Came back up, gave us a change of character, back to the top side, which happened here. After the change of character, wrong color. Right, after the inducement, what did price do? Right, we know that we're trading between these highs and these lows. What did price do? It gave us a change of character, back to the downside. Change of character, perfect. We have a gap at the top of the market, perfect. 30-minute gap. We have an engulfing here on the 30-minute time frame. That price missed it by a pip too. This was a trade we were looking for on Friday. This was the trade I was looking for on Friday, but price missed the entry by a pip. We'll be patient. Very simple. We'll be patient with AU, man. Let AU give me another entry. I love taking AU trades. Right, this is E's pair, so I'll respect AU. All right, so no continuations, but it looks good. My phone just texted me, yo, wind down. You got your bedtimes at 8:30 tonight. Shut up. EA, what are we looking for? Looking for price to turn around, right? We're still trading between higher high, higher low. 3 months of drop. After 3 months of drop, the market must move up or move sideways. Right now, we're still on that no net moving sideways phase. We'll be patient. This is a pair still on an uptrend. We had 2 weeks of drop. We already knew this is counter trend. We're still on an uptrend. Did not expect price to give us a 3rd week low, and price did not give us that 3rd week low. Price instead went up and gave us a week of rise, doing exactly what it needs to do. We also know that on the 4-hour time frame, all price did was give us a change of character to the bottom side. That's all it was on the 4-hour time frame. It was just a change of character. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Price gave us a change of character, right? Because we were trading between this low and this high, and price was just moving sideways until when? Until price gave us the break of structure all the way down to the bottom. All of this is part of the same trend. So we know that price still has not turned around. Not on the daily, not on the 4-hour. We're still respecting higher highs and higher lows. And on the 30-minute, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Same thing as the 4-hour. We had the lower low from this low to this high. 30-minute, we're still on a downtrend. But we know this is a pair that's in an overall uptrend. We know that on the 30-minute time frame, these lower lows that we were seeing, lower lows and lower highs, is just price on the higher time frame moving from a higher high point into a higher low, a higher high point into a higher low point. Right? When price moves from higher high to higher low, what is price doing? It's moving down. So on the 30-minute time frame, on the internal time frame, on the internal structure, you're going to see that downtrend push. Right? So we just got to be patient with EA. We'll let price for EA turn around. Yo, I'm okay. I don't have to catch the trade at the tippity bottoms. Once I have my confirmations, I'll start taking those trades. It's that simple for me. EURCAD, peak high territory. So I'm just going to really just update the chart. We still got that gap. We have a change of character to the bottom side on the daily. Trend has not shifted yet. We'll wait for the break of structure. We'll wait for the zone of consolidation in order for us to say that this is level 1 or level 2 on a downtrend. Same thing we were waiting for on Bitcoin. Same thing we're waiting for on US30. I'm doing the same thing on EURCAD. I'm not trading this any differently. It's all the same thing. We have a week of rise. We know that we were in a little zone of consolidation. We know that price gave us the change of character back to the top side. Cool. Very simple. What are we looking for now? We're looking to see, is price going to give us a valid break to the highs to then go to continue that trend? Or is price going to give us a inducement of the high and then go short? So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for price to either give us the inducement to then continue to go short, or we're waiting for the break of structure. It's that simple. EURCAD, nothing to talk about here. Euro USD, we are in the second zone of consolidation on an uptrend. Level 1, first zone consolidation. Level 2, second zone consolidation. We know that we are at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. This is what we would consider our safety trade. This is where we will start looking to take trades. In order for us to take trades, what do we want to see? Once again, we know that we are in second zone consolidation. We're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA to give us that level 3 push. We had 2 weeks of drop going counter trend. 3rd week, was a 3rd week low given? No, it was not. Again, it's not something we're expecting because this is a pair that's moving counter trend. On the 4-hour time frame, all we have is a 4-hour change of character. Again, could just be the inducement. We do not have any confirmation that price is going to continue the downtrend. It's all a change of character. On the 4-hour time frame, we also had a 4-hour engulfing candle. This is another missed opportunity. But on the 30-minute time frame, what did we have here? We had the change of character, we had the break of structure, we had the inducement change of character where we would have had that retest on the 4-hour engulfing. It was just a change, it was not a break. Price gave us the lower low, lower high, gave us the inducement. It was not a valid break. And on the lower time frame, price started turning around. So EU was also a missed opportunity to at least take these trades as a, again, just a little trade for the day. for STP and it went straight to profit. We know that we have a change of character on the 30-minute time frame. So what am I looking for now on EU before I take this trade? We're on the 800 EMA as well. I need to see price give me a valid break of structure of these highs, so then I can start taking these trades, again, the safety trade at the bottom of the zone of consolidation to go back to the top. And we know we have a gap at the top of the zone of consolidation. So is there a big chance that we could continue this trend to the top side and close those gaps? Absolutely. And we had a gap that opened up with the market and price already filled it. Market opened, pushed straight up to that gap. So just going to be patient with EU, right? I don't have to force any trades. I still want to see that valid break before I start looking to take trades. GA. Right? We know that GA, we are in peak high territory, very similar. Could we say that we're in level 2 on a downtrend? That is something that we could say. Right now on the daily time frame, we have the change of character. That's all we have to the downside. So no continuations. I'm looking to see for price to give me that valid break for us to start saying that we are in an overall downtrend on GA. No continuations on the 4-hour, very similar to that other pair. All we have on the 4-hour, well, no, I'm lying. We had the 4-hour change, we had the 4-hour break, we had the retest, lower low into the lower high. So we had push 1, push 2, and this is push number 3. So GA will be expecting a little bit more of a pullback, right? Not only will I be expecting a little bit of a pullback, but it's very simple. In order for me to start looking to take these trades, I want to start seeing price make lower lows and lower highs, continue the downtrend. And on the 30-minute, all we have is the change of character, lower low. So now we know exactly what we have drawn up. The only time I'm looking to take a trade on GA is either if price gives me an inducement of the high to then go back low, or if price gives me a break of the low to continue to go short. We had 2 days of rise. On the third day, which was Friday, price gave us that third day rise. Gave us that third day push. Again, right now, GA, not really looking to take it. But it gave us the confirmations that we wanted to see. We marked this up on the chart. Right, we're going to see price give us the break of structure. If it gives us the break, we're looking for the retest. It gave us the retest. After it gave us a retest, straight to profit, right into the 372. Zone of consolidation, break, retest, continue back to the top side. Very simple. We marked this up. Is this a trade I'm going to take? No. But I marked it up for you guys so you guys can see it. I'm waiting for my confirmations overall. If you guys want to take those trades, go ahead. It's there. Take them. A little bit of an aggressive trade, but it's there. You could take it. GCAD, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. We have a month of drop, no continuations. On the 4-hour, we have a 4-hour change of character, right? Which we're trading between this low and this high. Add a few lines here. 1 second. And we have a week of rise, no continuations. Still have these daily engulfing candles that price already tapped into. On the 4-hour, we don't have anything. On the 30, we still have this engulfing candle at the bottom. 30-minute, we also have a change of character. We have the break of structure. We have the third push, still trading between higher low and higher high. 2 days of rise. On the third day, it gave us a rise drop. It gave us a 4th day variation, and then it gave us a day of drop. So again, price is moving exactly how it needs to move. Gonna be patient with GCAD. GJ is a pair I'm not currently really trading, but we'll keep it marked up. We're in peak high territory for GJ. No continuations on the daily. Still have those gaps at the bottom. On the 4-hour time frame, we had the 4-hour change of character to the bottom side. We had a week of no net, and then price gave us a week of drop, a week of rise, no continuations for right now. 30-minute time frame, we are still trading between higher high, higher low, and higher high, and price has just been moving sideways in this area. We had a 4-hour engulfing that price had validated once again because we are still trading higher highs and higher lows. How could you take a short setup when price is still uptrending? It doesn't make any sense, but people will do it and they'll justify it. Oh, I saw my entry. Okay. But what does your entry mean when you're not looking at market structure? Again, the language of the charts is market structure. The language of the charts is candlestick analysis. If you cannot read market structure and you have no clue what candlestick analysis is, you have no reason to take a trade. No reason. Like literally zero fucking reason. Because what you're doing at that point, you're gambling. You're taking every double bottom and double top in the market because that's your entry. That's your entry model. You're taking every engulfing candle that prints, right? You're taking every pattern. You're looking for flag post patterns and harmonic patterns, right? You're looking for all those entries because that's your entry model, but you don't have it connected to market structure. You have no clue the direction of the chart. You have no clue the direction of the trade, but you're taking a buy setup because you see a double bottom on the market, or vice versa. It just makes no sense. You can't have an entry model without understanding market structure. It just doesn't make any sense. We're almost done here, guys. Yeah, right now I slipped up these past months. It's all good, man. It's all good. The beauty about trading, bro, it's you're gonna make mistakes, or even if it's not mistakes and you're just not there, you learn from the mistakes. You already know what you gotta do, right? The point is to not repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Because again, repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, it's just a definition of insanity, bro. And the last time I told somebody that they were insane, they got mad at me. Can't believe you called me insane, man. You're disrespecting me. All right, bro. Want to be very clear. I'm not saying these things. I'm not trying to make you take it personal. Things I say here is not for you guys to take it personal. It's so you guys could understand where I'm coming from, right? If you know that what you're trading isn't working, right? You know 2 times 2 is 4, right? We know that. But if somebody comes up to you and tells you now 2 times 2 is 5, they're gonna continue to justify it. No, it's 5 because look, I worked that out. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like again, every time I give analogies, is for it to make sense. If you're in math class, right, and you're working out a problem, let's say division, long division, and you're working out a problem, but you don't know the steps on how to find the answer when you're doing long division. You're doing the math incorrectly. If the answer is 62, but for some reason you're getting 58, you're doing something wrong. Now, if you're getting the answer 58 and I'm telling you it's wrong, and you continue to repeat the same process and you continue to make the same mistakes and you're not putting it together that you need to change something in your calculations, but you continue to put in the same numbers, you continue to follow the same steps you're following when you were wrong. It doesn't matter how many times you input in the calculator the same numbers that you're putting in wrong, the answer is never going to change. It's the same way in trading. Again, yes, you could be looking for the double bottom, but there's a reason why those double bottoms aren't working every single time. It's not giving you the same results every single time because you're doing something incorrectly. That means that you have to put in the time, right? Do your homework to understand why that's not the right answer. And then understand that once you figure it out, once you find the information as to why you're losing that trade, now you know, okay, I cannot keep making the same mistakes. So again, it's very simple. It's very simple. You have to figure out why you're losing the trade. And once you understand why you're losing the trade, once you have that piece of information, now you know I cannot keep creating this. I can't keep making the same mistake. But on a calculator, 2 times 2 is always going to be 4. It's never going to be 5. It's never going to be 6. right? So I hope the analogies make sense. And again, I give those analogies so you guys could really understand, like, okay, no. So yes, I will continue to say it. Yo, if you keep trading, specifically since we're talking about trading, and you keep doing the same mistakes over and over again, week in, week out, day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out, yo, you're crazy to me. That's a definition of insanity. It doesn't matter how many times you repeat the process. If you're repeating the process incorrectly, you're gonna continue to lose and you're gonna continue to make the same mistake. It's just that's just how it is. It's just there's no other way around it. There's no other way I could explain that. The ego, man, it kills learning. Absolutely, that's another thing, right? Which is again, I understand it in trading, bro. Like, again, imagine you're learning something for 2 3 years and then somebody tells you you're doing something wrong, right? It's very difficult. Again, specifically in trading, there's so much information online that's just not true. Or let's not even say that is not true. It's just not the full picture, right? They're not giving you 100% of the information. They're only giving you bits and pieces. Like, again, imagine if we're doing this stream and I'm only showing you guys engulfing candles without talking about candlestick analysis, without talking about market structure. If I tell you guys, yo, just look for a double bottom in the market, that's all you're looking for, right? How many double bottoms print in the market, right? You have one here, you have one here, right? You have one here, you have another one here, you have another one here, you have another one here, right? You have another one here, right? Let's just keep doing. Let's go look at the last what days. Let's just look at this piece of the chart from March 3rd to now. So let's look at the whole month. You have another double bottom here. 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 Right? Let's count how many double bottoms you would have won, right? Because you're gambling at this point. If I tell you, yo, just look at double bottom, but don't look at market, if I'm not teaching you market structure, if I'm not teaching you anything, right? You took the double bottom here, you lose, right? So let's mark up the losses in red. You take the double bottom here, you win. You take the double bottom here, right? For conversation's sake, the retest is here. You got the retest. It went up and it just consolidated, right? Did it hit stop loss? It did. Let's say you didn't cash out. I'm gonna mark this as a loss, right? So this trade here, you lose, right? This double bottom here, let's say you win. I'll give you this one because it went up, right? If you didn't cash out at these highs, it came back down and hit your stop loss, right? This one here, double bottom, you won. It went all the way to the top side. This double bottom here, boom, you lose. This double bottom here, boom, you lose. This double bottom here, boom, you lose, right? If you're trading a Propfirm account, 100% sure you lost your fucking account and you buy another one. This double bottom here, you won. This double bottom here, you won, right? If you cashed out. If not, it went right back down, hit your stop loss. But let's say you won. Let's say you weren't greedy and you took your profit. This double bottom here, you won. Okay, cool. So 3 losses and 3 wins in a row. You have a 50% win rate. Before these 3 wins and these 3 losses, you won 2. You lost 1. You won 1. You lost another one. What's your win rate? 20% win rate, 30% win rate. You haven't made any profits. You lost. You started negative on your account. You brought your account back to break even. You lost again. You're back at negative a couple $100. You traded again. You're back at break even. Right? If you cashed out here, putting into that perspective, you won another trade, 2 wins in a row, perfect. You were at break even. Now you're up a couple $100 because this was a good trade. Yo, at the double bottom all the way to the top, right? Let's say. Then all the money you made in the profits, you lost 3 trades in a row. You probably are back at negative or back at break even. Or you probably blew your account because you were like, oh, I'm only missing 2% to win. And you're risking now your whole account. Because you could only risk 5% per trade. Right? And then you buy another account and now you're up 3-0. Right? Let's see how long you keep the streak going. So you see what I'm saying? Like, again, I don't know what more I could tell you guys. Every strategy in the market works. That's the thing I also want to point out. Every strategy in the market works. Whatever you're trading, double bottoms, double tops, patterns, candlestick analysis, fib retracements, SMC, SRC, Jaguar F type, turtle soup, mongoose soup, black bean soup, pumpkin soup, fucking what's the potato soup called that the Italians love to eat? The gnocchi soups. Yo, whatever fucking strategy it is that you're trading, it works. But if you do not follow market structure, you're going to lose. If you're trading fucking Roger Banks's break and retest, like if you're making lower lows and lower highs, and price at the lower low gives you a zone of consolidation, and it gives you a break at the top of the zone of consolidation, and you take that buy position, right? Let's mark it up so you guys can see the visual. Yeah, I'm getting pissed off now. That's why I don't like talking so much. If price is making lower low, boom, lower high, lower low, boom, at the lower low, it starts moving sideways and it gives you a break above the highs. What do you think this is? It's just a fucking inducement. Price is not going to give you a break retest to continue. Price is going to give you the inducement and go fucking back down. Right? So again, it doesn't matter who is teaching you. Like again, if you do not understand market structure, it doesn't matter if you're trading break and retest, smart Raja concepts, zone of consolidation break. If you're not understanding that you're trading between this lower high point and this lower low point, and price gives you a zone of consolidation, and you take this trade going long because you're like, oh, zone of consolidation, break and retest, without following market structure, you're going to lose this trade and price is going to reverse and go back down. And for you guys who know the trade, what is this type of trade? I'll give you guys 30 seconds in the chat. While everybody is looking for a zone of consolidation break retest to continue, what are we looking at? For the ones who are trading, you know the answer. What type trade is this? What trade is this that we have on our rule books that we look for every single fucking day on the chart? "15 seconds on the clock. Come on, give me the answer, yo. Don't make me look bad in the chat. I know it's 2, 3 in the morning for you guys, but lock in. Right? Candle is exactly type 1 pattern. This is the type 1 pattern. So again, I'll say it one more time. It doesn't matter what strategy in the market you're trading. They're all correct. But if you're not following market structure, you're going to lose. Adrian says type 1 pattern. Type 1 pattern. Exactly. So it's very simple. It's very simple, guys. It is very simple, but you have to put in the work. You have to be able to see the full picture when you're trading. And again, the full picture of trading is market maker's pattern, it's market structure, it's candlestick analysis, it's everything. Right? When you're doing math, you're looking at PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. If you have to work out PEMDAS, you're not gonna not know how to do parentheses and exponents and multiplication. You're not gonna jump straight to subtraction, right? You have to know the entirety of PEMDAS to be able to solve the fucking answer. It's the same way in trading. You have to understand the full picture. If all you understand and all you see is the entry strategy, but you don't see market structure, how the fuck are you taking a trade? If you cannot see if price is making higher highs and higher lows, how are you going to take a trade? You're going to take a short position when price is making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, good job. Yeah, I'll give you a fucking high five. Doesn't make any sense, yo. It doesn't make any sense. There's no other way around that. You can't learn market entries, right? You can't learn entry strategies before you learn market structure. It just doesn't make sense. You're taking a short position when market structure is still uptrending. Okay, dude. Good one. Good job. Good fucking job, man. Good one. It's really good. Like I'll give you an A+ because you deserve it, because you've been trading for 12 years and you're still not profitable. I'll give you a cookie though. It just doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I'm a little behind. It's all good, Adrian. It's all good. Right now again, US30, you guys know I'm trading US30 day to day. I'm not gonna be doing any analysis on US30. US30 will do our analysis in the morning, but we're on the daily lows, we're on the 30-minute lows. I'm expecting a little bit of a either the retracement or we're looking for a valid break. And right now, we on the daily time frame, this is a candle that prints once every single day on the daily time frame. So we'll have to wait another day to see if price wants to give us that valid break of the lows. And on the 4-hour time frame, we have the change of character and we have the break of structure of the low. So Very beautiful. Right now, still looking good for those shorts, but I want to have those extra confirmations. We're at those lows, we're at the lower low point. I'm not going to take a short position at a lower low. What am I going to be looking for? A lower high. Once we make those lower highs, best believe we're going to continue to trade. And right now on the 30, we're still making lower lows and lower highs, valid breaks. We have a gap here at the top. We're going to be patient, right? US30 is going to give us the confirmations we want to see, right? And for the most part as well, US30 and Bitcoin trade, or they move very similar. So I'm still expecting Bitcoin to go short. I'm still expecting US30 to go short. US30 is still giving me those short confirmations. Perfect. Price could continue to go lower. Gold, we already marked this up. 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. We have a gap in the market, resets the trend. Price could go lower. We're at the 30-minute lows. Same thing. We're either looking for the inducement to go back up, or we'll be waiting for the break of structure retest to continue to look for those trades. No continuations on the 4-hour. We're still making higher highs and higher lows on both the 4-hour and the daily time frame. So we want to be patient with gold. We're already back at the lows. This is where I'll sit on my hands and I'll wait for the next confirmations before I take the trade. Bitcoin. What were we looking for on the 30-minute time frame? We're looking to see if price was going to give us a second day low. Did price give us a second day low? Yes. Yes. 372 incoming, right? Price opened up, already gave us that third day low. 372 is already hit. So this is where, again, I would just be sitting on my hands. And I'm continuing to look at the 5-minute time frame. We are still making lower low, lower high, right? Break of structure, lower low. We're still lower lows and lower highs on the 5-minute time frame. We're still lower lows and lower highs on the 1-minute time frame. Just want to be patient, right? What do we also see on the 5-minute time frame? Another engulfing candle, but this is, yep, it's valid, right? 5-minute engulfing retest. Am I going to take a trade in this area? No, not yet. Right now, I'm not looking for a re-entry. I'm not looking to get in again. I'm holding this. We're looking at market structure on the lower time frame. Mr. Bashir, this is another fucking guy I haven't seen in 3 years. Holy shit. What's good, Mr. Bashir? What's up, guys? I've missed you a lot, but I'm fully back. I know I missed a lot of info, but I hope you're all doing great. We're doing amazing, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Oil, right? We're at war. I'm still keeping this marked up as A1. We have just the inducement of the high of the zone of consolidation, no valid break. So technically, we are still on a downtrend. 4-hour time frame, price is just moving sideways. No problem. Sunday at 6 p.m. Yo, I really need to find somebody to start clipping this, man. There's a lot of information in here that's really good, man. So much that I just said, so much that we've said that I could just clip, put it on YouTube short. They arise and we're still on the 30-minute time frame doing what? Rejecting highs, rejecting lows, same shit we've marked up since last week. Just gonna be patient with oil. And then silver, similar to gold. Back of the 30-minute lows. Gonna be patient with silver. That's pretty much it, guys. Any questions, let me know. Again, this is a great session. A lot of things that we talked about, especially in the first hour of the stream. Literally, the first hour of the stream was amazing. We've already been streaming for 2 hours. Waiting to see if price is going to give us a valid break of these lows. We have the inducement of the 4-hour low. That's all we have. No valid break below. No candle broke below either. So we'll be patient on the 4-hour. And then on the daily, we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. So no continuations. Once again, silver and gold are two pairs where right now, kind of just playing it day by day. Great session. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, Muhammad. Great session. Peace. Sleep in beauty. All right. Peace out, my brother. I'll see you tomorrow morning as well. Again, pretty much for me, I don't really have anything on my watch list. So it might be a pretty slow start to the week We have a few pairs to keep an eye on, but nothing on my watch list that I'm like super excited about. We'll just have to wake up tomorrow morning, see what's left, and then go on from there. But any questions, let me know. Damn, and I missed the optic match, but they're up 2-0 already. It's crazy. They're up 2-0 in the series, and then they're up 1-0 in the uplink, or whatever this shit is called, gridiron. What's this game mode called? That new one they added? I don't even know, bro. I haven't fucking played the game in so long. It's not called uplink, and it's not called gridiron. Gridiron was in World War II, and then uplink is not called uplink because I was jetpacks, and it's not called control because control they changed the name from last year's. What the fuck is the name of this game mode? Whatever. They're up 3-1 in the game mode. Peace. Good night, brother. I'm here still. No problem, my brother. Yeah, we're pretty much already done, Adrian. But any questions? I know you're behind, so that's probably why you said I'm still here. But Mr. Bashir, Adrian, everybody else, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord. For the ones watching the recording as well, feel free to message me on Discord. Leave the questions in the comment section, and I'll get back to you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out.